being a professional bass fisherman definitely does have its privileges. I'm out here today with my good friend Dr. Mike Lawson from Dallas Seminary, and we've got the extraordinary opportunity to fish this amazing private test lake in deep East Texas. These fish were stocked in here in the last 4 years, and we're testing the growth rates, taking DNA samples, and all the above. We've got biologists out here working with us, having lots of fun catching 3 to 5 pound fish regularly. Nothing over about 6, but let me tell you, our fun meter is pegged today, and this is all in the name of work.
Got a tap. I got a tap. Oh, there he is.
Hey, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
It's a good fish.
Come here.
You're not going to believe this, but I've got one too, and I can't reel him in because I'm running the camera. Look at here, my rod's bent.
Get your deal?
No, get your fish, and then I'll reel mine in. You can video me reeling mine in after. If you're wondering, folks, why the video is a little bit blurred, is because I was trying to take video of him and something went thump on my line. That is a good fish.
That's a good fish.
That is a real fish. Now, hold him out here where we can see him good. Mine's swimming down into the boat now. That is a good bass right there. Dr. Lawson.
Thank you, thank you.
Hold him out here where we can see him
There
good.
you go.
Yeah, that is a beautiful fish. That fish is less than 4 years old, and he's over 4 pounds. That is a gorgeous bass. I don't know if mine's probably not as big as yours, but he's taking me to my knees. Oh, he's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I'll take him. Your ever popular double hookup. Nowhere but Texas do you double up on fish like that on a regular basis. We're just grateful to be out here enjoying God's creation today. And thanks to the Texas Parks and Wildlife for their great management that they've got going on right here. Now, when we get fish that are upwards of 5 pounds, the Parks and Wildlife is actually clipping fin samples and doing DNA testing that can actually tell who the parents of these bass are. This one's not big enough, so we're going to put him back for right now. All right, now this right here is what we're looking for. These fish over 5 pounds. We're going to go get the biologist, Tony, with the Parks and Wildlife, and we're going to let him take the samples that he needs to do his research, and then all these fish are going back right here into this lake and see how big they are next year. I just hope I get invited back on the next research trip. This is awesome. That fish fell for a yum dinger, and that fish will go, you know, a little over 5 pounds. And look at how well she's built. I mean, she's thick from head to tail. This is Tony Owen and Juan Martinez, and they are both natural resource specialists and biologists with the Texas Parks and Wildlife, heavily involved in the Cheryl Lunker program. And in the research that we're doing here on this test lake, they are the ones that are really going to take it to ground zero and get the data for us and figure out what's working and what's not. So Tony, tell us what you're going to do with these bigger fish that we've caught.
Well, first of all, we're going to get a weight, we're going to get a length, we're going to take a fin clip off the fish, we're going to carry that back to the lab in San Marcos, and they're going to do DNA analysis, and we can determine what parent, if these fish came from the Cheryl Lunker offspring, we can determine which parent that they came from when they were stocked in this lake. What the age they, you know, the length of time they've been in this lake and how they've grown over the past years, however long they've been here.
What are you really hoping to accomplish by Lake X here?
Well, it's just sort of like cattle or deer management, whatever. We're taking these big females that get 13 pounds. We're using males that we pair with those females to see if maybe there is a gene, a genetic trait, potential that these fish get bigger than a regular fish. But we don't know that. This is what this whole project's about. We're trying to see, do they get bigger or not?
Do they grow faster?
Do they grow faster, and so on and so forth. But see, we haven't gotten enough data. You know, this is just something that we've started in the last 4 or 5 years. And this is just a rare occasion to have a lake that we can come do something like this on, you know.
Just on a side note, to increase the occurrence of 8-pound bass in our lakes, so that way there's more trophy fisheries out there, more selections in our water bodies.
Well, I can tell you from my experience fishing all over the United States, I catch more 8-pounders in the waters of Texas than anywhere. So you're doing good so far.
Yeah.
But these gentlemen you just met, if you want to know the behind the scenes on the Cheryl Lunker program, these are the guys to talk to. They're at the Texas Freshwater Fishery Center in Athens. If you want a great education on big largemouth bass, you need to come see it. Well, this is the Lake X here at the Big Brown Mine that Texas Parks and Wildlife has been using as their research lake for the Cheryl Lunker program. And I've got Danny Munoz here, and Danny really heads up this property as far as the contract with the state and all the research, and they've been so helpful in helping the state try to develop bigger and better fisheries. And so Danny, tell us a little bit about Big Brown and you guys' involvement with this project.
Well, basically this project started about 5 to 7 years ago in the inception of our final pit pond, and what kind of resource could we leave, and we teamed up with the Parks and Wildlife and found out that we had a wonderful resource that both of us could basically learn from. And we entered into a long-term agreement with the Parks and Wildlife, and now 5 years later we're seeing a lot of the fruits of that. Well, it certainly so far it's turning out to be a fabulous fishery. You know, I'm amazed by the quality of the vegetation in there, the healthiness of the bass, the depth of the water. I mean, what's the deepest place you know of on this lake? Right now I think we're seeing water as deep as 60-65 feet. We got an abundance of shore habitat that the Parks and Wildlife came in here and did some experiments, some other reclamation ponds we had, and then they went with what they felt would be best in this type of environment, and that's what we have in here. Well, you know, I think I can just say safely on behalf of not only the Texas Parks and Wildlife Service, but all recreational fishermen in the state of Texas, thank you so much for you guys' investment in the sport that we all love. Appreciate it. Glad to have y'all.